Joshua. How are you? You are always first. I appreciate you so, so much for that. First, I appreciate you so, so much. I hope you've had a good day today in New York. New York, New York. Let's see. Let's get rid of this. Hey everyone, thank you for coming in. Please thumbs up the live when you come in. I was running into a little bit of trouble, of course. Never a dull moment. I don't know if anybody uses StreamYard. I use StreamYard and I use the free version because they used to have a really inexpensive version. And then they decided to randomly just go up and charge a lot of money, like $44 a month. And I was like, what? And so, I mean, their original version was really cheap, like maybe $10, $15 a month. And then they decided to go up. First of all, let me back up. Hi, my name is Kim. I am your low carb queen. If you're new here, if you happen to come by and watch the replay, I am on a weight loss journey, and I am also on mounjaro 10.0. I will be titrating up this Friday on 12 to 12.5. I'm officially down 30 pounds on mounjaro, and I am down 74 pounds altogether between mounjaro, Ozempic, and trying to lose weight on my own. That has taken approximately a 3-year plus or minus process, okay? But it doesn't matter. The time doesn't matter. It just matters that the weight is gone and that it will stay off. You know, I had to really process that because, you know, I didn't realize. I realized it, but then I didn't really because when I see people saying I've lost 100 pounds and I've lost 75 pounds and I've lost this, and I was like, you know what? My highest weight was 394 and I am down to 320. That's a lot of weight, you know, even though it has taken a lot of time. Well, you know, in the process of time, it seems like it takes a lot of time. But in actuality, now that it's past time, the time doesn't seem that long. How about that? So, yeah, I am really proud of myself. Hey, Auntie Mama, how are you? So glad to have you in the building. I am really proud of myself concerning that journey. And, you know, I believe it was at the top of this year or last year it was the top of last year when I revealed my weight, the top of 2024, because I wouldn't even reveal my weight. I wouldn't do it. You know, it was just like maybe a little bit of denial or whatever, you know, if I didn't talk about it, if I didn't acknowledge it. Thank you, Auntie Mama. Thank you so, so much. You know, then I didn't have to, I mean, I was dealing with it because I was still working on it. And like I said, I used Ozempic before, but if I didn't it's just two things that a woman doesn't talk about. Old school, her weight and her age. You know, that's what they used to say. You never, you know, if you're a true gentleman, you never ask a woman her weight or her age. So, you know, it was just not something that I wanted to verbalize. And lo and behold, here we are from 2024 to 2025. I am talking about it. I am expressing it. I am putting it out on YouTube. Oh my gosh. You know, people that know me and people that don't know me know about my weight. But I recently found out that, you know, just watching some news, that there are like about, I think they said 15 million people on the GLP-1. That's a lot of people. Yes, thank you. Here in 2025, that's a lot of people. And that's, a lot. It speaks to how many people are struggling with their weight, working on their weight, trying to make it better. It speaks to all of that. So lo and behold, here we are. And so I am very, very proud of myself concerning that. Yeah, so as far as StreamYard is concerned, I have the free version of StreamYard, and they told me that I had 36 minutes left for this month. And my new month does, you only get 20 hours a month when you use the free version of StreamYard. So they told me that, like I said, I had 36 minutes left for this month, and it wouldn't, my new minutes would not kick, my new hours wouldn't kick in until October 24th, 2 days from now. So needless to say, I had to take the StreamYard thumbnail down and go live. I think I'm just going to start going live. Hey, Calamity Jane, how are you? So glad to have you in the building. I think I'm just going to start going live on YouTube without StreamYard. I originally started using StreamYard when I couldn't go live on YouTube yet because I didn't have enough, subscribers and stuff. And so they've changed that now. Facebook has changed that because they used to be compatible or, the same as YouTube, and now they're not. Because I used to be able to go live on Facebook under Low Carb Queen, but now I'm not. So, it's a lot of changes, a lot of things going on. But I don't have to go live on StreamYard anymore. I like some of the features on StreamYard, and I like the fact that you can see the comments and you can post the comments on StreamYard. I need to write to YouTube or email them and tell them they need to do that. They need to allow us to be able to post those comments, and then, that's good. We'll be done. So that's pretty much why I still use StreamYard. But like I said, I only use the free version now. Because before, like with the paid version, you could stream on multiple platforms. I can't see what that comment, let me check, hold on. So that's why I'm also using my laptop. Well, I use that for my notes too. But I also use it so I can see. Oh, no, you're fine, Auntie Mama. You are 100% fine. So thank y'all so much for coming in. I appreciate you so, so much. Those of you out in the garden, thank you so much. And speaking of garden, I said it before and I'll say it again. I tried one of the tomatoes out there. I just couldn't resist. They were so cute and they're growing. But, there is such a thing as cherry tomato. So I grabbed one, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and I tried one. Oh, my goodness. Now I see why people say, like, when you grow your own, like, produce or whatever, it's so much different. Because I don't even like tomatoes like that. But I promise you, that tomato was so good and so sweet. It just surprised me. Tomatoes are allegedly a fruit. But yeah, it tasted, yes, Auntie Mama, it tasted so much better. I was like shocked. I was like, oh my God, like I could have literally taken a bunch of tomatoes and popped them, just started eating them in a little bowl like a piece of fruit. That's how good they were. The density of them was different. The texture on the inside was different. It was just, it was kind of weird and amazing all at the same time. I've got 7 in the building and 3 thumbs up. If y'all would be so kind as to thumbs up the live, I would appreciate it. And if you're a content creator, you can type in Get Low. Thank you, Calamity Jane. Thank you, Himani. You can type Get Low in the chat, and your channel will come up and people will be able to find your channel. Okay? So I haven't touched it since the last live, so all is well. It should be good. But I appreciate y'all so much for being here. So I wanted to talk about protein shakes and protein bars tonight. I'm one of those information highway people. I don't know how I came across this article. There are 2 articles that I came across recently. I'm going to talk about one today and perhaps one next week. But, when I say article, It's a video. You know, it's not like a newspaper article like we used to have, but it's a video. And I was like, what? It was real interesting. So I said, let me share it with you guys, see what you say, and see how you feel about it, and go from there. So we're going to jump right in. You know, I hope you guys are having a great week so far. It's been cold here. You know, this is hump day for most people that, you know, the Monday through Friday. Doses of Shania, how are you? So glad to have you in the building. Thank you for coming in. So this is, like I said, Wednesday was hump day. You know, I don't work on Fridays. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I'm so glad. I'm so grateful. So tomorrow's my Friday. I'm so glad, you know. So, yeah, I just got to kick that day out and I'm done. All right, so, excuse me. So my, oh yeah, we have trivia. Excuse me. Most of you might know the answers, probably most of you who are in the weight loss community have been in it for a long time, like really in it and know stuff. You'll probably know the answers to these questions. Some I find very interesting because I'm just really, even though I've been trying to lose weight, I'm just really learning about the science of what you eat. And so that's remarkable. That's another thing that I've discovered. Again, shout out to Felicia Marie, who was tracking her protein. You know, she showed what I eat in a day. So I've been doing that all week, just trying to get that 100 grams of protein in. I haven't even eaten dinner yet. When I get off of this live, I'll eat some. But I do have to make sure that I get, you know, a high level of protein. So for the last couple of days, I've gotten like 98 grams, 102, you know. And the thing that I noticed is I'm not as hungry eating protein, you know, as I would be otherwise. I mean, it just, that protein kind of levels off that hunger. When you eat, of course, we know carbs make you feel hungry, period. They put the bread on the table at restaurants to encourage you, not to get you full, but to encourage you to eat more. So, you know, the carbs do make us feel hungrier. I had some chips today and some chips yesterday. And of course, when I ate those chips, you know, chips just make you want to eat more. But yeah, I'm working on it. You know, I'm feeling really good. Like, girl, you're 74 pounds down. You're not doing too bad. So I'm grateful for that. I really am. And I'm trying to get 20 pounds off, this last 20 pounds off by the end of the year. So that averaged out when I was interviewing Miss Toy to review. We did the math. That was about 6.7 pounds for October, November, and December. It may not come out to that exact amount mathematically, but you know, they'll let me know I'm in the right track. So I'm 2.8 pounds down. Okay. So I've got about 2.5 or whatever, 3.5 pounds to go or something like that. Do the math. Don't tell anybody. Please don't tell anybody. I always say it. Don't tell anybody I'm a retired math teacher. But you know, that's quadratics, that's linear functions, that's exponential functions. The regular math, oh well. But anyway, let's get to the trivia of the matter, okay? Yes, Calamity Jane. Yes, that's what you said. I'm multitasking. I understand. I've been seeing your videos out there. I was like, what happened to Joe? She was talking about Joe the chicken. Oh my gosh. Yes, and I didn't know that they have a temperament. Like chickens, it was just amazing to see, like in the morning when you went out there, not just a temperament, but a behavior like a real pet. You know, I'm not like a pet person. I want a dog, but I just don't want the aspect. And I'm not a cat person at all. We had cats when the kids were young. We had dogs. We had goldfish, all of that. So now that they're grown, I'm over that. But I would like a dog. I might get a dog in the future. But yes, I can see that, Calamity Jane. She said, yes, they're like humans sometimes. Like when you went out there in the morning, they all just started gathering around the gate. Like, we know what time it is. I was surprised. I mean, hey, Curtis E. in the building. How are you? So glad to have you. I was thinking about you the other day. I was like, we got to do lunch. We have to do lunch or something. We haven't done that in a while. So we're going to have to get together. But yeah, they were there and ready to go out. I was like, wow. Auntie Mama, you said I'm done with pets. I know. After your last dog, I know. And that's the thing. You get so attached to the pets. You get so attached to the last pet we had. We had a dog, and we had an English bulldog. Beautiful, beautiful dog, temperamental. And yeah, I gave it to my aunt. But yeah. So, yeah, I have to get a pet rock. Hey, Harjarine, how are you? So glad to have you in the building. D Boss Way, how you doing? I'm so excited. I'm gonna have my Christmas earrings. All right, guys, we're gonna jump into the trivia. Oh, you know what? This might be a problem because I'm not on StreamYard. So I don't know that I can share my screen like you do on StreamYard. You know what, YouTube? I'm gonna need y'all to get with it. I'm gonna need y'all to get with the program. Yeah, I might be stuck. I might have to wait until next week when my 20 hours go back up. Because I'm not even going to try to figure that out today. We're not doing that. But yeah, I don't think I can. I don't think I can share screen when I'm live on YouTube. I don't think so. Okay, don't do it, Kim. All right, so let's just go to Shell. I can't share a screen when I'm live on YouTube, can I?
No. No, you cannot.
That sucks. So I'm probably gonna have to turn this into a video. Oh, okay, Carter. Okay, Lisa, thank you. Listen, we encourage each other. Yeah, you over there on Zepbound. Yeah, you know they used to have that back in the day. Archery, the pet rocks. You are over there on Zepbound. I see you over there with the family. And now Arthur has his own channel. Go ahead. That is phenomenal. Yes, indeed. So let's see. This just messed up my whole vibe. I tell y'all, it's never a dull moment over here. Yeah, she's over there on Zapbound doing it. So yeah, they're gonna have me on my 36 minutes. And then I was like, okay, I'll just go ahead on and buy it for this month and cancel, StreamYard. But they wanted $45. $45 for the month. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I have so many subscriptions for YouTube. I've cut some out, but I do have so many more. That is ridiculous. But that's okay. So yeah, let's see. In a tizzy. Okay, let's see. I'm so tired of y'all. StreamYard, I'm tired of y'all. Give me a second, guys. Let's see. Because the only way I'm going to be able to show y'all, but I'm going to be on a time frame. They might knock me out after the 36 minutes. So, the only way I'm going to be able to show y'all my article is to be on StreamYard. Okay. Let's see. No. Nope. Y'all, I'm trying to figure something out. It's always something over here. It's always something. So again, I hope y'all are having a good week. And this is what I want y'all to do. This is what I need y'all to do. So, I'm going to share my other channel. Hold on one second. Because I know I've got more hours over there. And so, I'm going to put this in the chat. Hold on. Let's get a little creative for a second. Let's just get creative for a second because, you know, they haven't done what they're supposed to do. So let's see what's going on. So now, I'm going to, let's see, I don't need any guests. Somebody is texting me. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this works, y'all. Bear with me. I'm going to see if what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go over to my other channel. I'm going to put the link in there under StreamYard. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. And then y'all will be able to see my slides, hopefully, over there. Okay? Corda! That's one of the OGs of YouTube. So, I just put that in the chat. If y'all go over there, we're going to show the slides over there. Then I'm going to jump out of StreamYard. How about that? I hope I don't get in trouble from YouTube. So, yeah. Jump on over there to StreamYard. Click on that link. Come over. And I'm going to share my screen over there. And we'll see what's going on. Okay? All right, let's see how that works. Okay, so if you click on that link, that'll take you to StreamYard because I'm only going to have 36 minutes on StreamYard, so I don't want to close this live. There's an advantage in having more than one channel. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, so we can look here and see what's going on. And anybody clicking over there? I said, anybody clicking over there to see?
Oh.
The truth about the protein shakes and protein bars. I've got 3 in the building. I've got 3 in the building on the StreamYard side. So there's a link over there. Yes, Auntie Mama, thank you. I've got 3 in the building over there because I'm not going to have a lot of time. So if you'll click on this link right here, and then that'll take you over to the other channel where we can look at this video. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Okay. StreamYard has really just kind of messed me up. I've been having technical difficulties the last couple of lives on my Wednesday night. But you know what? You have to just keep going. You got to do what you got to do because when it's all said and done, it won't matter. When it's all said and done, it won't matter. Okay, guys, so you may or may not be able to hear when I do this video, but if not, I will still, when I show this video, but if not, if you're not over there, you may or may not be able to hear it, but I'll still download it later on and make it a video. So let's get started. This is the truth about protein shakes, okay? And I did a little bit of research on the shakes and the the bars in addition to the shakes. And so we do have some good news and some bad news. All right, so let's go ahead and try to listen to some of this. Of course, I'm not going to play all of it. I'm going to play some of it for you so that you will be able to. Okay, let's see. Let me know if you can hear it. All right, here we go. Can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear it? Y'all hear it? Y'all hear it? All right, here we go.
If you've been to the supermarket lately.
Let me know if y'all can hear that. Can't hear it, Auntie Mama? No? Miss Toy, how are you? All right, hold on. All right, if you've been over, if I saw Auntie Mama over on StreamYard, we'll just come back over here And this is really getting on my nerves. Alicia Marie, how are you? How are you? So the bottom line is, guys, that there has been a lot of lead found in the protein shakes, okay? Consumer Report did a review and found that they tested 23 protein powders and shakes and found that over 66% of them have high levels of lead. High levels of lead, okay? And so you're going to have to be, hey, L. Lewis, how are you? You're absolutely going to have to be mindful of that. I'm going to cut and paste this video that I can't show you because I'm not on StreamYard. Yes. And I have the video, but because I'm not on StreamYard, I can't show it. I forgot about that. That's the advantage of StreamYard. So here's the actual video about the high levels of lead in the protein. Yeah. It was very disturbing, even though I don't eat a lot, drink a lot of protein shakes. You know, I do have some protein powder. And they do, if you go to Consumer Report, if you go to, if you watch this video that I just put in there, it'll tell you. It'll tell you exactly which ones. I don't want to say which ones because I'm not sure. But it'll tell you which ones and which protein shakes and which protein bars. The good news is, because I eat a lot of Quest bars, Quest protein bars, I'm going back up off of them. But the good news is they're one of the good ones. Quest protein bars, they don't have as much as some others. Like, that really makes you feel good, right? They don't have as much lead as others, but still. So check out that video from Consumer Report. The plant-based powders, I don't know if Premier is plant-based or not, but the plant-based powders show higher contamination than the dairy-based ones, okay? So again, I will do this video again with the actual slides that I wanted to share with y'all. Okay, it says ones to avoid that they have are Naked Nutrition, Vegan, Mass Gainer, whatever that is, Huel, the Black Edition. Some of you may know about these because I don't really do protein shakes that much. A limited use of Garden of Life Sport Plant Protein, Momentous 100% plant protein. Those are limited use. And the better ones are Optimum Nutrition Whey, BSN, and Dimetized Super Mass Gainer. Okay, there was none detected. So again, just be mindful because they said the lead levels, the amount of levels of lead in them are so high. You know, it just made me think of like lead in water, lead in paint, back in the day, the lead had to be removed out of the paint, the water and the pipes, all of that, because it can cause, some serious problems. And let's see. The question is why plant-based has more lead. Peas, rice, and soy, some of the things that the plant-based shakes are made of, those powders are made of, they naturally absorb heavy metals, okay? Dairy and beef-based proteins have lower risk. Contamination can occur during farming, processing, or packaging. Yeah, if you go to Consumer Report and do lead and protein shakes, it should come up and it'll give you every single one that they tested. I think they tested like 23 different types. And it'll let you know the amounts of the amount of lead Okay, the levels of lead in them and stuff like that. So, so protein bars, like I said, are not exempt. Clean Label Project tested. That's a company, I guess, a private company that that tested 165 bars. 100% had detectable heavy metals. Clean Label Project. That's also somebody that you can go and check out. I'm gonna put this in here. Clean Label Project. I'm sorry, y'all, I can't show y'all the the slides. Let's see. Felicia said, I use Dimetized. I heard plant-based protein powder doesn't absorb in your body as well as the dairy. Yeah, well, that's a good one. The Dimetized is a good one. That did not have any lead detected, so that's good. So again, I typed in Clean Label Project. That's the people that tested protein bars. So you can go to them and see. For 22% exceeded lead limits. They have the figure in here, Prop 65 lead limits, wherever that comes from, Prop 65, if that's a guideline or whatever, a standard from a state or whatever. So, for example, no cow bars face lawsuits over lead and PFAS contamination. Anybody use no cow protein bars? No cow protein bars. I've never heard of them. Chocolate and nut-based bars tend to have higher risk. Oh my God. Chocolate and nut-based bars tend to have higher risk. Okay, so my question was, because I'm having this conversation. I still haven't given Chat a name, but I'm having this conversation with Chat. And my question was, well, who regulates? Who regulates protein shakes, protein bars, that whole scenario? Yes, Felicia says she's heard of this. Toy, again, I'm not sure about Premier, but that's why I put that in there so you could go and check it out. So the question is, protein powders and bars under FDA regulation have no pre-approval, okay? So I said, under the Food and Drug Administration, there is no pre-approval for protein powders and protein bars, okay? So, for example, when you think about it, like our crackers, our saltines, Ritz crackers, potato chips, all of that, they're FDA regulated for labeling and ingredients. Okay, they are FDA regulated. Protein bars and protein powders are not for pre-approval. Okay, of course, our meat and poultry is regulated by the USDA. Okay. So this is how it goes. Food is regulated, but supplements are reactive. Okay, so it's kind of like, our police. Like you can tell the police that you suspect something. Yes, because it's considered a supplement. Absolutely, Felicia. And so you could tell the police about something that you expect to happen, or you're feeling threatened or whatever. They can come, make you feel better or talk to you, but they cannot do anything until after the fact. Okay. And so that's how it is with supplements, like protein powders, protein bars. Nothing can be done as far as regulation is concerned until after the fact. So the companies that make them must operate with integrity. And apparently something is going on because there are super high levels of lead. So just be mindful of that. And I just feel like that's so important because so many people rely on protein shakes and protein bars in order to get that supplemental protein, in order to replace a meal, all of the above. So many people rely on that. And so, yeah, that's something to be mindful of. So again, the FDA does not pre-approve supplements. It's it's encouraged to look for third-party seals. Okay. So any type, when you say yes we do, yeah, rely, yes, we do rely on them. Yeah, and so it's important to look for third-party pre-approved supplements. Any companies, you have some watchdog companies out there that will do their own testing, and see if the product is good or if it has any type of ingredients that are detrimental to us. So let's see. It says look for things that are NSF certified for sport, USP verified, informed choice. These are all, I guess, third-party companies. These are all, hello everyone, if I miss somebody, please forgive me. They verify purity, label accuracy, and safety. So I'm going to throw this in the chat for y'all. Look for some of these third-party companies that will do that for you. Felicia, let me see. Don't forget, if you're a content creator, you can type "get low" in the chat, and that will your channel will come up. So Felicia says, yes, it's extremely important in this community. A lot of people will see plant-based and automatically think, oh, that's healthy. That's a healthy version, but not know things like lead levels. Absolutely. So again, look for these types of third-party validations, okay? Look for these. That's very, very important. So, and this video came from, I think, CBS News. Let's see. Yeah, I think it came from the CBS News, one of them. But one of the popular news, the information came from there. So, yeah, be mindful of that. Please be mindful of it, because I know some people be like, well, I mean, lead is a serious thing, isn't it? It is, because it can affect, your thinking process, your brain, all of that. That's why it was so important to get that lead out, of the water and the paint when it came to kids. Lead poisoning? Come on, somebody chime in about lead poisoning. All right, so again, look for third parties, check ingredients, transparency, limit daily reliance on powders and bars. That is paramount, to limit the daily reliance. And rotate with whole food protein sources. I mean, the best thing that we could ever eat is real food, period. That's just, it is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, I told you that 70%, after it were tested, over 70% had high levels of lead. Consumer Report will tell you that. Felicia says, I am so happy you're covering this. People don't know about third-party testing, where their supplements are not. Thank you. Yes, they are not FDA approved. So any type of supplement that we get, we have to be mindful of that. I mean, like Joe is doing a super good thing, I guess, by making her own like collagen pills and stuff like that. I mean, she's literally doing, Joe's Sleeping Some Down Journey. She's literally doing what companies are doing by the factory, and making it available to us. But since there's no regulation, that's the scary part. Since there's no regulation, then, it's it's something to consider. I only have a little bit of water. I gotta add some more. This is my life right here. So, and again, they're not regulated. Yeah. So protect your health. Definitely protect your health. I'm going to put this link. I've got 3 links for you here. I put one in there already. You take lots of supplements, but you always do research. Yes. Yeah. And I think we forgot about that because, a while back we knew that some organic things, some things that were, considered supplements, which like we said, they are not regulated, Anything from like hair products, it's a lot of things that are not regulated. And unless they get a giant lawsuit or a lot of complaints, then it's not going to change. And so you have to be mindful of that. Okay, so that's one. Here's the link for the Clean Label Project, which studied the protein bars. Ms. Toy said, I heard that you shouldn't buy your supplements from Amazon and go to the actual company website. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, you do have to be careful. You do have to be careful. And the FDA Dietary Supplement Overview. So these are the 3 links for you. If you want to go check any of these out, you can open the links and go check it out, because the best thing to do is check it out for yourself and see, even though I'm passing on this information, it's just good to go read it for yourself and see what it says, and make sure that if whatever protein, thank y'all for the 10 thumbs up. I appreciate y'all so much. Whichever ones that you use, that they're not on that list. Because what you don't want to do is get a bunch of lead in your system, right? You don't want to do that. That's a no-no. Y'all know I'm because I forgot some of the side effects of lead. And it's so much stuff out here in the world today. It just makes you, you have to be careful, because it can make you afraid and, but this is good, y'all. This is good. And like I said, every single one is not bad, you can find out, if the one that you use is bad. It's as simple as that. Okay. So some serious side effects from lead. Short-term effects are fatigue, weakness, abdominal pain or cramps, headaches, irritability, loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, metallic taste in your mouth, constipation. Long-term chronic effects, nervous system damage, anemia, high blood pressure, kidney damage, reproductive issues, developmental delays in children, brain damage, and severe poisoning, seizures, comas, etc. So, again, not to scare anybody, but I would encourage you to go look at that. Felicia says to Miss Toy, I heard about skincare products on Amazon. Lots of counterfeit products. And yes, Queen, there is no need to fear. Just research. Yes, absolutely. It's not to, it's not to make you afraid. I just want you to do your research when it comes to the protein shakes. Just do that research. Period, point blank. Okay. So again, I'm going to save my trivia questions for next week when my hours are back up on StreamYard. I'm definitely going to save that. But yeah, anybody have any questions for me? about me, you know, in terms of my weight loss journey or anything like that, because I'm not an expert about anything when it comes to the weight loss journey and stuff like that. But if you have any questions, you know, for me personally, my last video that I put out, like I said, realizing that I had lost a total of 74 pounds. And I was watching, what's her name? The journal. I can't remember. What's her name? Real Talk with V. Weight Loss Journey. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Weight Loss Journey Talk with V. I was watching her video about getting rid of the clothes. I have not gotten rid of clothes. I got rid of some, but not a lot. But yeah, Real Journal Talk with V. Most of the clothes that I got rid of was stuff that was too small, to be honest. And I had a bag, but yeah, I just haven't gotten rid of my stuff yet. You know, I am going to buy some new things, but I recently bought something that was 2X, and that was shocking. But yeah, Felicia says, how do you feel being so close to Twonderland? I feel so good, but I'm gonna be honest, Felicia, I feel scared. I do. That sounds crazy, but I feel good about it, but I feel scared. And you know, I know y'all probably don't do this, but like it's a subconscious, like the reality that I lost 74 pounds. What's the first thing that I did? I got some potato chips. My daughter was going to the store last night. She was like, you want anything? I was like, well, I didn't eat dinner. I'm kind of hungry. So I said, but I have to eat protein. You know, I need to eat protein for my dinner. So she got me I told her to get me the Dietz and Watson roasted turkey breast lunch meat, and then she got me some American cheese, and I was like, give me some onion and garlic chips, you know. And we hee-hawed back and forth about it. But I'm like, no, I'm saying to myself, I'm good. I'm 74 pounds down. I lost 2.8 pounds last week. I deserve a chip, you know. And to me, like, you know, the yin and yang of that is, okay, you might deserve it, but are you self-sabotaging? You know, you don't think of it as a self-sabotage because it's like, okay, you're rewarding yourself because you're eating, but then somebody else was talking about, you know, rewarding yourself with things other than food. That's why I like Miss Toy, you know, you've been doing clothes. I'm like, she's rewarding herself with clothes. Like this is going to turn into a real, like that's a good, how can I say it? That's a good niche. Clothing hauls now that I've lost weight. You know, that's a great niche. niche. Felicia says, no, it's not weird. Feel the same about Wonderland. Yeah, because I have been on this journey for so long. I mean, I just have been on this this is gonna, like when I think about it and when I speak about it, I get emotional. I have 5 biological daughters, and not one of them has ever seen me under 300 pounds that they would recognize. You know, when they were little, I was steady climbing. Like my first daughter, when I got married, I was 175. And after my first daughter was born, I had gained 60 pounds with her. That was the introduction to my obesity. And I wouldn't go out of the house. I wouldn't do anything. You know, I was too embarrassed. And so my first husband at that time, he took me to the store and made me buy some, you know, a couple dresses. The little polyester button down the front, gimbal dresses. If you lived in New York, you remember gimbal. But yeah, and then I lost weight. I started exercising, lost weight, got pregnant again, you know, yada, yada, yada. So, you know, over the years, they have never seen me in a normal size, you know. And even back then, you know, obesity has grown, so to speak, because even back then, a size 16 was a large size, you know. you had to go to 16 plus, stuff like that. A size 16 was large. Now a 16 is okay. But back then, size 16, that was not okay. 18, So let's see. Miss Toy says, "What do you think contributes to my weight loss last week?" Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Hey Mia, how are you? So glad to have you in the building. So, the bottom of the week before last and the top of last week, I was so constipated. I told y'all that in the injection 40. And so that Wednesday, I took one laxative pill. Thursday, I took two because nothing happened. And Friday, I took four little X-Lax, Walgreens version of X-Lax pills. Because I was sick. My side was hurting. My stomach was hurting. I was sluggish. Y'all know what comes with constipation. So, by Saturday and, Friday evening, Saturday and Sunday, that's all. I was going to the bathroom the whole weekend. So, yeah. And, somebody might say, well, then that was mostly water weight. I don't think so. But, in any event, all that was in came out. So that, I feel like that definitely contributed, but I don't like to get on the scale when I know I'm constipated. Because you can have 3-4 pounds of stuff inside of you. You really can. If you've ever done a cleanse, we know this. So Miss Toy says, what do you think about, okay, yeah. Mia says, I totally understand. I recently gained 10 pounds and I really had to look at why. A lot plays into a bad history with food. Yeah, because I've been used to being rewarded with food. It's just, food has been my friend. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. Yeah, Toy said the same thing. I used to reward myself with food. It took me a while to stop, but now food is the last thing I consider as a reward. And that's so good. That's just great progress. That's very encouraging because you don't know unless you know. I mean, if you've never been there, you really can't relate. And so that's a whole thing. Let me see. Toy says, I get it. I haven't been in the 100 since I was a teenager. This life is new to me, but I love it here. Yeah, you look fabulous. You look absolutely great. And I'm glad that you are enjoying it. You know what I mean? Because some people lose the weight and still are not happy. They're still not enjoying it. So I'm glad because you look fabulous. Let's see. Mia says, I totally feel like me personally kind of use my largeness as a way to block negative feelings, like being a protection, so to speak. Do you relate to this? When I get lower and lower in size, I feel more and more vulnerable. I don't know about that because I think I was in denial about my weight, even though I knew that I was big. Being born and raised in church and being in church all my life. I mean, like I've said before, that's a community. And that's a community of a lot of obese people because there's only a few vices. And that's one of them. Eating. I mean, we know that gluttony is in the Bible, but you very rarely hear people preach about it. Okay. So I think I was kind of protected in that sense. And I really didn't think about it. If I had to shop or if I had to go somewhere, outside of that church community, then I could sense it and feel it and see it. You know what I mean? So, it might have been, I have to think about that, like being a protection, so to speak. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Doses of Shania said, I had chips today and yesterday. Weigh day was today. Lost 2.4. Shot day tonight. I ate the chips because this was the actual first time I really wanted some. I actually counted out the four. Yes, yes, I will count out. I will count out the mine was 15 chips. I will count out the 15 chips. And then I'll count out 15 more if I eat some more. But that's my way of saying to myself, okay, this is what you're doing. You're not just gonna blindly eat chips. If you're gonna eat them, you're gonna see that this bag of chips is 8 servings, and you're now 2 to 3 servings in. You need to recognize that, rather than to just eat the whole bag and be like, oh God, I ate the whole thing. I mean, for me, it was a promotion that the bag lasted 2 days. Okay. I had some yesterday, last night, and I had some for lunch today. So, and I still have some left. So that's a biggie. I mean, it may not be big to somebody else, but y'all know sometimes when you go in and you get, something that you haven't had for a while, and the carbs are addictive, the sugar is addictive. I mean, it's a real addiction. And so, yeah. Mia says, Miss Toy is my future goal. Yes, yes. Now, I don't know if I'll ever see Wonderland. Like I said, I haven't seen that since I was 19 going on 20. I got married at 19 and I was 175. So, I'll be happy in the twos. I will be happy. Yeah. If I get to around, any two, I'm happy. But if I get to around 250, oh yeah, you're not gonna be able to tell me nothing. Not a thing. Let's see, Miss Toy, have you taken 12.5 yet? No, I take that on Friday. I think that dose is going to treat you good. Yes, I hope so. I hope so, because I'm halfway there for my 6.7 pounds for this month. So I will take that this coming Friday. And I just need it. I feel like I need it because I don't want to mess up, and this is my favorite time of year. We're going away for Thanksgiving. We're gonna be throwing down. So it will help me. I know it will. Let's see. Felicia says, I feel you, Mia. The more weight I lost, the more I felt less physically protected. Wow. Wow. Mia says, you're welcome. You look so pretty and you work hard exercising. Yeah. Yeah. And I think one of the things about me with Toy, your mindset has definitely changed. Like, your mindset has changed. And one of the reasons why I say that is because of the fact that you take your injection every 2 weeks, and for me, that means that your mindset has changed because you can maintain and still lose over that period of time. Just watching different videos, some people will be like, I got off and I gained, yada, 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 and so, that's what I'm looking forward to. Not just a weight loss, but a mindset change. For real. And it's a process. I think that's why a lot of people say, I only lost 40, 50, 60 pounds my first year, because your mindset really has to change on this journey. It really has to. Let's see. Doses of Shania says, yes, Toy is my goal too. I love her clothing hauls. See, Toy, I'm telling you, I'm going to get one of those Adidas dresses, but I want my stomach smaller. Girl, I kid you not, Toy. I had the nerve to look at that Adidas dress today. Yes, I did, because I have T-Mobile, and they have that special on Tuesdays where you get breaks and stuff. You get discounts. And so they have a 40% off on Adidas. So I went in there and to look at sneakers, and the dress came up and it was 40% off. And I had it in my cart. I was like, this dress is so cute. But my gut is not ready for that dress, okay? It's just not ready. And I'm just not gonna And, you know, I'm older, so I'm not going to wear it in spite of the gut. But I sure enough, I was at work in the Adidas, on the Adidas website. Yes. I feel the same way, Doses of Shine. I want mine smaller. Mia says, yes, Felicia. Like, I don't know how to be the normal size lady. I've always been the big girl with jokes on it, so no one else could joke on me. Okay. Okay. Mia says, now I see I can make it to 260. Lost eventually. I think at times I do sabotage because subconscious worries of not knowing who I really am in a smaller body, almost a little identity issue for me. Thank you for that transparency. That's phenomenal. You know, that you see that, you recognize it. You know, it's just, that's a beautiful thing, you know, because like I say, sometimes we don't see and we don't recognize. You know, I got tired of being big, and I think you know, in my first marriage of so long, my first marriage was 30, a little over 30 years, you know, and like I said, we had 5 girls. I mean, you know, I think after that first marriage, that bubble that I was in was gone. So I had to face the reality. And then, you know, my mom used to always say, oh, he's trying to keep you barefoot and pregnant. Oh, he's trying to keep you fat, you know, because he used to buy me cakes and chocolate, all the stuff that I like. I mean, he wasn't trying to do that. But, you know, but after, you know, after we parted, it was just like, okay, who am I? Who am I now? I am this big person. You know, I'm not who I was when I got married to him, you know, so it kind of made me face reality, you know, of the size that I was for real. And so, you know, I started, you know, trying to work on my weight for a long time, you know, and trying to work on my weight. Like, okay, isn't I was trying to work on my weight. Like, I'm going to have to meet somebody else. I'm going to have to get smaller to meet somebody else, you know. Um, my first husband said to me one time, he was like, why every time you get mad at me, you put on makeup, you get your nails done, you start exercising? And I was like, cuz it's going to be out with the old and in with the new. But he made a valid point. Like, sometimes we get lost in these relationships, you know, especially if you've been married and you're comfortable and all of that. You get lost in these relationships and you don't take care of yourself like you should. And so, you know, then you got to get out there in the dating world again. It's a mess, okay? Let's see what y'all saying. Let's see. Miss Toy says, my sister looks good in her Adidas dress, and she is 300 something pounds. Oh, okay. She probably younger though, too, yeah. So buy it. Toy said, buy it. Girl, I cannot have the fupa out. I just can't do it. Now I have to get a body, you know, body con and all of that. I ain't there yet. Mia says, I've had to look at my reasons and reactions to food and weight. I'm trying to figure myself out so I can change my reactions. I feel you. I feel you 100%. Now, that I do feel, because when I get upset or, you know, I don't want to say depressed or anything, but if I feel down about something, if I feel upset, the first thing I want to do is eat. No. And my justification is, okay, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I ain't out there doing the do. So, I mean, I got to have an outlet. Can I get some ice cream? Can I get some chips? You know, and if I want to reward myself, it's with food. You know, but I got a lot of I'm an arts and craftsy person. I got a lot of things that I like to do. So I was like, you know, I need to pour into some of that. Joseph Johnny, it's not the weight. I just don't like the kangaroo pouch. But it's getting better. I need to buy some shapewear or good undergarments. Lost 55 pounds and I'm still wearing the same undergarments. I feel you. I feel you 100%, okay? 120%, Doses of Shine, because, again, I am too. I just recently, and I think I told y'all that, I just recently bought some unmentionables, and they were 2X, and I was in shock. Hey, Kim J, Sweet Healthy Life. So glad to have you in the building. Felicia Maria saying, hey. Felicia said, release the fupa queen. No way, okay? Kim J said, queen, you're funny, but I feel you. And yes, we find something else that's fun and serves us better. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because look, but that's the way it is when you're used to rewarding yourself with food. We had the birthday dinner Sunday, and that was good food. And I didn't make my plate big, but I wish I had her. Because it was good old sweet potatoes, string beans, all of that, and we're going to do it again next month. So that's why I need 12.5, because, how often do y'all eat stuffing? Anybody like stuffing? Do you call it stuffing or do you call it dressing? Whichever one you call it, do you like it? Because you wait all year. You wait all year for stuffing, So, got to get that stuffing in. I know, Felicia said, release the food pot. I want to release it, but not to everyone. Listen, I feel you getting rid of it altogether, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. That's another thing, Mia, when you talk about, Mia said love dressing. When you talk about, the reality of the new you, that's another thing. And I have to be mindful of that. It's not so much the reality of the new me, but it's the, yes, dressing, like get ready for it, It's the, how can I say? It's the new me of how I look. Because I've always felt like, even though I was big, I made my weight look good. Like I carry my weight very well. That's another reason why I was able to hide, not talk about it, yada, yada, yada. The most reality for me, like I said, was when I came outside of the church circle, when I had to go to the store and go shopping, when I had to go to a public restaurant. Those who knew me knew, do not get a booth, those types of things. My first husband had, he had a Mercedes, what was it, a SLK? The two-seater with the hard top, drop top that you had to take off. I hated that car with a passion, okay? And he would be like, come on, let's go for a ride. I'm like, oh my God. It was just, those were the realities. One day I got in that car and I was like, if you've ever seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I was like crunch meat, Mercedes-Benz two-seater, period. Crunch mode, okay? I was so crunched that I had cramps. I was like, you have to pull over. You have to pull over. I have to get out of this car. And so those were realities for me. You know what I'm saying? That, if he wanted to go somewhere in that car, and I used to tell him, no, this is your pretend to be single car. You go ahead, you drive that. You're good. If you want to take me somewhere, you got to take me in your other car. Because he had a little Benz and a big Benz. You got to take me in the other one. So those types of realities, yes, the cramping is the worst. And so when I think about losing weight and how, you lose it, but, this part of the arm is looking okay, but then this part of the arm is looking a hot mess. And then this part is bigger than this part. And it's just like, really? But when I see people who have lost the weight and they're like, I'm fine. I'm not going to trade it in for none of the old weight. It's all good. And it's healthier. So you just have to take the pluses and the minuses. And we know that the pluses far outweigh the minuses. Kim J says, what do you call fupa? Because my daughter had to school me. She like, you don't have no fupa, Ma. I thought a fupa was the apron belly, but she made sure I knew. The people, yes, you know what the fupa, if you have a fupa, you know. My girl schooled me a while ago, okay? That is an acronym, okay? And I will not say it on here, Kim J. But yeah, That's different from having a little belly. A fupa is a little bit different, okay? A fupa is a little bit different, okay? So yeah, if you know, you know. Like you got a little tie here or a little apron, as Kim say. Kim said, "Don't say it." Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm not. I'm not. Woo! So yeah, I don't know if I'm getting rid of that. I tell you, kids keep you young. Yeah, so it's worth it. I feel better. You have a Upa. Felicia says she have a Upa. Lord have mercy. We're gonna move away from that topic for real. So this it's the dynamics of the weight change, but I feel so much better. When I was in Marjorie and Calamity Jane and Joe's Sleep and Slim Down journey, and they were talking about some non-scale victories. You know, I've been going up the steps, and I'm gonna do it. I told Calamity Jane today. I said I'm gonna do it before and after. I've been going up the steps like a toddler for God knows how long. Okay, because my knees couldn't just take that one step pressure, you know, and so now that I've lost some weight, that has taken a significant amount of pressure off my knees. And so I was showing the girls, I was like, look at my non-scale victory. I'm going up the steps one by one again. You know, so that made me feel real good. Those types of things, it's just, it makes it worth it. You know, it makes it all worth it. And so I don't know if in the future, when we get, when I get quote unquote there. Yeah, Felicia said that's my favorite non-scale victory too. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be ready or willing to get like surgeries, because I'm not young. I mean, you could say, well, you do it for you to make yourself feel better. Kudos to everybody who gets the surgery. Like I said, Toy, you look absolutely great. Yes, you did. You made me laugh. But I don't need no surgery. I don't need no cosmetic. I'm saying that now, but you never know. I don't think I'm gonna need no arm surgery at like 70. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Listen, let me let y'all know something. Things start changing as you get older. Life start changing as you get older, okay? It just starts changing. It really and truly does. It starts changing. Let's see. Kim J said, okay, after this comment, when I was looking it up on the internet to prove it was my belly, my baby like, no. And she pointed me in the right direction. Down a little further. Okay, I'm done. Yes, indeed. Yes, you did. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's something altogether different, So it is what it is. That's the beauty of, growing with someone, particularly when you meet someone, like my first husband, he always preferred women with a little meat on their bones. Now we were young. I was 19, he was 20 when we got married, and I was, like I said, I was 175. I've never been like a super thin, except when I was, a child. My nickname at one point was Slim, but that's because I was kind of, growing fast, on the tall side for my age, but he liked a thick girl. And so I wasn't obese. I was, what did they used to call it, y'all? Big boned it. Big bone. They used to say, oh, you big bone. What? I couldn't stand that. You big bone. Get out of here. So yeah, he liked big bone girls. So that was never, and he was little. He was short. He was the shortest guy I ever dated and the youngest. He was a little guy. I mean, come on, I got married at 19, so what? What are we talking about? But yeah, but little men like big women. That's just the way it is. Okay, let's see. Kim J says, I hope I don't have to have surgery, so I'm trying to lift weights and eat protein to help in any way I can, hoping to fill it out. So yeah, Kim, you look great. You look great. You clearly don't have a fupa. I mean, you are doing fantastic. You really are. Y'all remember that, Big Bone? Yeah, you look. Nah, I mean, I'm trying to do something to help, with the saggy skin. But like I said, at the end of the day, y'all know I just had a birthday. I turned 67. So guess what? It is what it is. Okay. Now I expect to live a long time. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know if I want to get surgery or not. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I'll absolutely cross that bridge, If I was out there on the hunt or something like that, then I might. But I've always been of the mind, accept me for who I am or don't accept me at all. Even though, like I said, I was out there trying to exercise, But even on my second marriage, which we're going to talk, I said I'm going to have to get Calamity Jane together so we can talk about dating, online dating. Because on my second marriage, Mia says, I don't know about that part, FUPA, but hey, glad they named it. Yeah, that's definitely a behind the scenes conversation. But yeah, Kim says, my hubby is like that. He like me with some meat on the bones. Smaller men like to snuggle up. Yup. You ain't never lied. That's the truth. No, that's the truth. That is the truth. We argued for years because when I met him, I had to stop wearing heels because he was on the shorter side. We argued for years that we were the same. He argued that we were the same height. I was like, no, I think I got you by about a half an inch. I'm 5'8", you about 5'7.5", but it didn't matter. He was a David. He was a mighty man of valor. But yeah, they do. They do like it. Felicia said, I met my husband on a dating app, and he is very slim, and he's not tall. Yep. Miss Toy said, you look great. I didn't know you. Yeah. Yeah. I don't usually share it, but yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, when we saw the app, that's what I was saying. The app that I met him on was an app for plus size people, plus size men and women. That's where we met, on a plus size app. And the description of the app is like, if you're not worried about, you don't want to feel worried about, your size, blah, 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 then, this is the app for you. And that's exactly where we met. It was crazy. Yeah. And, he was he's 6'2", somewhere between 6'2", 6'3", something like that. But yeah, he's tall. And he had lost a lot of weight. He had been big before. He had showed me a picture where he was like 460 or something like that. But yeah, so he knew, when we started getting serious, I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if I can really do this, because I've been with somebody all my life, so I don't really know. But yeah. Let's see, Kim J says, yours is taller than me, but still not tall. Yeah. Kim J said, but the saying, we gonna leave comments along too. If you know, you know. You know what, Kim J? You'd be so in trouble. Yes, 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 and yes. Yes. Yes, indeed, Kim J. 5 beautiful children. 5 beautiful children, okay? Now, Kim J, stop. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Look, y'all know. Y'all know. I'm not gonna say that either on here, but y'all know. Listen, the melanin can hang out a little bit longer. I know, Felicia, Kim J, she's something else. But yeah, so I'm not interested in dating and all of that. I mean, I'm technically still married, but that's another conversation. But yeah, I'm good. I never thought that I could be a person who could live by myself because I enjoy a man, in my life, period. I'm a girly girl. But I'm good. For now, I'm good. Oh, Kim said, okay, I'm going to go back to being. No. But if you're out there and you're looking or you're wanting to be found and all of that stuff, you might. But listen, at the end of the day, yeah, she a little spicy. At the end of the day, you want somebody with some depth anyway. You want somebody who, of course, you have to be attracted to them and they have to be attracted to you. But at the end of the day, you're the choice. You're the one making the decision. And any woman should know that. It's not the man choosing you. It's you choosing him. For real, for real. Felicia said, my dating profile is going to say married but complicated. Lord, Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Married but complicated. Wow. Listen, y'all, listen. Dating is a whole new ball game. Archery said, pull me out the bushes. I'm so glad you're here, Doses of Shaddai. I believe in having a good time. Archery said, y'all done pulled me out the bushes. That's right, Harjarine. We are the ones. She know. We are the ones that choose, okay? They may be attracted to you. They may like you. But don't ever feel like you got to be the one to say, is he going to choose me? No. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But see, when you start getting older, it's just like, I don't know if y'all saw this on TikTok. This guy, he was in like his 50s. And he was like, first of all, well, anyway, he was like, all these older women keep keep DMing me, talking about they like me. They want to, I'm nice looking and yada, yada, yada. And he was like, first of all, I don't date no woman that's, like 15. They got to be at least 15, 20 years younger than me. I don't want no older woman my age or older. I mean, he just was talking trash on one of the social medias. Man, the 50-year-olds and up women went in on him, okay? They chewed him up and spit him out. And I was like, yes, absolutely. It's a whole different ball game on this 50 plus side, okay? It's a whole different ball game because it's it's a whole different ball game. Because the women were like, no, we don't want you. we don't. Hey, do y'all know Life Her Way? That's the name of her channel, Life Her Way. I think so. But yeah, if you don't, go over there and see her. She's a singer, and she did some videos on dating at 50, and I loved it. She was just like, look, these men in their 50s and older, they're looking for somebody to take care of them. That's what they're looking for. They done got older and they done played the field, or they divorced and, damaged goods, and they want somebody to, like I said, take care of them, do this, that, and the third. And let me say, I'm just not going to be that vested in anybody that I haven't spent a lot of time. Like when you're young, like me and my first husband, we grew together. You know what I'm saying? So that was You know, that was an investment. That was worth it. You know, we grew together, we built together, all of that. Harjari said, my husband was 49 when I met him. I called him old. Shoot, I am 53 now, but nothing gets old but clothes. I know that's right. I know that's right. Joseph of Shadi said, I'm not trying to be nobody's mama. I have 3 sons and don't need another one. I know that's right. Kim J said, Queen is 67 and living. She got the tea. Listen, I'm trying. Mia said, they know exactly what they want and how they like it. And they are real good at it. Older women are a prize if he really... Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We already know. We already know. Now, my second husband, like I said, we met online. I was in my 50s. I had been married all my life. And so I was just like, my identity was shot without marriage, without church, all of that. My identity was shot. That's all I knew. You know, so we met online. He was a widower. That's why I have a stepdaughter. He was a widower. And he, you know, he was tall. He was good looking. He's younger than me. Tony is 4 years younger than me. Yeah, so he turned 63 this year. And so he was just tall, nice brown eyes. He was fine, okay? To me. And y'all, his credit score was over 800, okay? What you say? I'm not gonna give out all the details, but his credit score was over 800. I was like, what? Okay, so you know, we connected. I was like, yeah, you deserve a chance. I'm gonna give you a chance, cause bruh. Yes. And so yeah, so you know, we went out, we dated, and let's see, Kim J said, I feel you, Queen. Okay, fine. And that credit score is important. Yes, because we had started dating, and I was just like, you know, from my first marriage, I was hurt. You know, I was healed, but I wasn't completely healed. You know, me and him, after we got through the passion of the angry breakup, we became friends again. But we didn't get back together because I moved down here, you know, and I just was like, I need a new start. I can't do this. We just needed a new beginning. So when I moved down here, and then I met Tony, and we started dating, and we really hit it off. You know, he was good. He was a good, decent person, and he had this little girl. Like I said, he was a widower, and he had this little girl. He was in his 50s with a 9-year-old daughter, and he was just like, I don't know what to do. I told my wife I didn't want no kids, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. And so, anyway, yeah. So he that was perfect because I was going through the empty nest syndrome. So that was perfect for me. You know, and some of my people was like, girl, he just wants somebody to take care of that baby. And I was like, okay, why not? I'm cool with it. If not me, it'll be somebody else. And so, let me see. Mia said, sorry, Mia, that was me agreeing with the credit score. Kim J said, no, not fine, but he was fine. Yeah. So, you know, we started, he had a house that was paid for, and I was renting it. He wanted me to live in that house, and I was like, no, that's too many memories from your wife, you know, who passed. So let's get something else. And so we decided to get something else. And so what he did, you know, I like a man. I'm just going to tell y'all the facts. I like a man, okay? I don't mind helping a man. I don't mind pushing a man, but I like a man. And I'm a strong black woman, okay? Strong woman, period. Black, white, or in between. So that doesn't mean that I don't like femininity, because I'll wait for you to open the door for me, all of that. But I like a man to be a man. It's nothing better than feeling like
a man that will take charge and not in a negative way. So what he did that impressed me, because we were going back and forth, we were looking at houses. And so he said, and I made more money than him, but his credit was better than mine, just keeping it real. So he said, okay, look, I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to see what I can afford. I want to know what we can afford. I'm going to see what I can afford. And that's the amount, that's the house that we're going to get. We're going to get the house that I can afford on my income. I'm saying to myself, what you say? Bruh, like we could combine our incomes and get a really, super decent house, yada, yada, yada. He said, and that's what he did. He went to the bank and he got pre-approved for a certain amount of money. And we started looking for a house in that bracket. That's a man. I can't take that away from him. We had our ups and downs, but that's a man. That's a whole man, okay? And so kudos to him for that. Yes. Kim J said, okay, she was checking all the boxes. Well, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I wasn't expecting love. And that's going to sound pretty sad. I wasn't expecting love. This was my second marriage. My first marriage was 30 years. I'm just telling y'all all my business. But I was expecting a decent relationship where there was mutual respect. And the other thing, that's what I was expecting, because I'm saved. I love Jesus. I got a church. I'm pastoring. So I need a Negro or any nationality. I just need a man. Okay. I need a man on this arm. Okay. With a ring. Y'all feeling me? So I wasn't expecting to be, because I was in love with my first husband. My first love, just everything. You know what I'm saying? And so, he passed away during COVID. When he passed away, we were still in love. So I wasn't expecting love. So I give Tony kudos, because Tony, that's my current husband, he made me fall in love again. He really did. Tony is cuckoo. I just didn't expect to fall in love. And he did. He did that. He was a man all the way. He would call me on my phone at work. And he would say things like, I just want you to know. He'd be like, how you doing? I'm fine. I'm at work. What's going on? He said, I just want you to know, when you get home, I'm going to ravish you. I'm like, what? He was like, when you get home, I'm going to ravish you. I'm like, oh my God. So my day was ruined from that point. Okay. It was ruined from that point. And then sometimes he would call me and be like, I think I'm going to make your friends jealous. I'm going to send you some flowers tomorrow. I'm going to make the ladies on your job, I'm going to make them jealous. I'm going to send you some flowers. No holiday, no nothing. So he was just like that. And that spontaneity in him was wild, okay? It was absolutely wild. And it was a bonus because he was younger, okay? Let me see. The chat is going wild. Okay, let me see. And so, okay, come on here. I'm in the right chat. Keep it real. Yes, about a kept man. He's a kept man. He wants to be kept. Go ahead. Marjorie, my husband will say stuff like that too and make me blush. Yes, And so, like I said, he was comfortable, with the plus size. That wasn't an issue in the fact that he had already been big. So, it was just wild. It was wild. Oh, when we had our first date, his car broke down, because he's a bit frugal, but understandable. His car broke down. And so he canceled the date. And so I'm all excited. We about to go out. And I think it was our second date, because our first date, well, it was our first date, because the first time we just met. We met at the movie theater. But and so that was the meet and greet. You know, if you date online, nothing matters until you see each other. Don't let nobody fool you. You got to see the person, okay? To see if y'all really gonna connect. That love is blind. So on our first date, he canceled the date. He was like, my car broke down, yada, yada, yada. So I told him completely off. I told him off. I was like, look, you know, we met. If you didn't really like me, that's all you had to say. You know, here we are. We about to go out, and you going to wait till about a half an hour or 45 minutes, whatever it was, before it's time for us to go out to tell me, you know, that's the best you got. Your car broke down. I mean, I told that person off. So he says to me in that conversation, we on the phone. He says to me, I'll never forget it. He says, what do you have that I want that I can't already get? I said, excuse me? He said it again. He said, what do you have that I want that I can't already get? I liked you. I told you I liked you. I've been trying to, you know, get my car together, and my car broke down. So, you know, we can reschedule and go out again or not. I was like, well, okay. All right, well, we'll reschedule for next weekend. Girls, y'all, I got off that phone. I was like, yes, this Negro, he is a mess, okay? He got all the way in my head. I was like, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I'm done. So we went out the next weekend. He traded his car in. Yes, he did. Felicia, he put me in my place, okay? I don't do signs, Toy, I'm going to tell you. But he's a Gemini. I don't do signs, but I'm just going to tell you. And he told me that in the beginning. I was like, I don't do signs. I'm telling you that. I don't do signs. I'm saved and all of that. But yeah, he definitely, let me see what's going on. He definitely put me in my place. So when we went out the following weekend, he traded that car in and bought a brand new, he bought a brand new Chrysler 300. And when he came to pick me up, he purposefully opened the door for me on the passenger side, took the paper out the floor of the brand new car, and then he bought a Wow CD. He knew I was a Christian. He knew I was a preacher. He bought a Wow CD and put the Wow CD in, took me down to Gaffney, South Carolina, the outlets, just him and I, and we went shopping. He wanted to get a few things, and he bought me a pair of shoes. So that was our first date, y'all. I was in. I was sold. That was the first day. That was the first day. So yeah, it was wild. It was wild. Let me see. Yup. Felicia said, he put you in your place. Kim J said, Harjarine making songs. I done missed something. Queen went from cougar to mountain lion. Jay said, we got you. You just being real, man. Oh, listen. Yes, Felicia said, yeah, absolutely. He definitely put me in my part. Yeah, what are you bringing to the table? Absolutely. Got, you know, it's hard to get in this head. It's hard for people to get in my head. My thought process be different. It be way off sometimes. And so, you know, if you can get in my head, you good. Meaning that if you can process and spit out what I'm thinking before I say it, oh, you good. You good. And if you can shut me up and make me think, you good. And so he did all of that. Arjun said, when me and my husband had our first date, he bought me a brand new car. What? See? The next day, Arjun, you know what? You better go ahead. Arjun, she is something else. Kim J said, I know that's right. You cleared your throat. Okay. Felicia said, I knew it. Mia said, I love this. L. Lewis said, Harjarine, I did something wrong. I didn't get a car. L. Lewis said, I got to go to work. Yeah, I got to get off of here. Miss Toy said, Doses of Shawty said, I'm in the wrong circle. Y'all are hilarious. Oh, oh my gosh. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And then I'm going to tell y'all this, then I'm getting off of here. Then don't forget to put Get Low in there if you have a channel that you want to share. Harjarine, I had a church and I had a drum set. I had just restarted, the church, yada, yada, yada. And, hey, Natalie, I didn't even see you. I had a drum set on layaway. It was $900, and I had put $100 down, whatever. I had it on layaway. And so he was like, I'm going to do something for your church. He said, I'm going to meet you up at the music store this week, and I'm going to get the drums out for you. See you. Love you. And so Kim J said it's always the church folks. So I was so nervous. I was shaking, okay? We had went out on a date. He had got me some shoes, got the CD and, and so we met up there on his lunch hour and he paid for the drums. He got the drums, paid the balance and got the drum set out for me. And so he was pouring it on. He was pouring it on big time, big time. Harshmi said, I could have y'all laughing for days of my single life. Oh my gosh. Doses of Shotty said, Harshmi, what did you do to get that car? Harshmi said, I didn't get a car until 5 years later. You need to give us, listen. We are, as always, and Kim J said, it's always the church folks. Oh, Miss Toy, thank you. Oh my gosh, yeah. So it just, it's a lot. But marriage, anybody who's married, and I'm going to close with this. Anybody who's married, y'all know marriage is work, okay? It's work. Don't even think for a second, okay? And most of the time, many times, the married trying to be single and the single trying to be married. Marriage is work. That's why you got to know what role to play. You can't, that's why I don't mind. I don't mind being a girly girl. I don't mind, cooking, whatever your role is. L. Lewis, you right. It's another job. Whatever role you choose to play. Because I've known some couples where the husband cooked. He just liked to cook and, that was fine. But if he cooked, then you got to clean up. I mean, it's just a give and take. Now, if you blessed enough to find somebody that's going to do everything for you, then you are blessed. You know what I mean? But it's still, reciprocal. Something has to be done. Yep. See, Harjarine, she got the car. She got the husband that cooks and cleans. Okay. Yes, Harjarine is a bad woman. Yes, in a good way. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Doses Shy said, let me just stay saved and sanctified and get on those websites. It appears they giving out cars. Oh gosh, Kim J said, well, y'all heard Harjarine with the knowledge she be spitting out on her channel, so I can only imagine. Yes, indeed. I know that's right. Felicia said, I clock in every day for marriage work. Absolutely. I mean, it's work. And once you find out what your role is, then, you do it. Period and point blank. Yeah, Harjarine is a bad mamma jamma now. Listen, so I have enjoyed talking with y'all. I will definitely do some more, life stories. And listen, I have to bring Harjarine up to share.
Felicia get that youthful perspective as well, because you know, companionship is good, you know. But it is work. Make no mistake. Mia says, well, I don't know the situation, but when you love a person, you definitely want to give them the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. Arjurine said, pull me out the bushes on my favorite topic. Yes. Thank y'all. Yeah, it's definitely work, you know. And y'all keep, you know, on the real, keep me in your prayer. Keep Tony in prayer, you know. He's been sick, and so just keep him in your prayer. For real. We'll talk about that later. But I thank y'all for listening. I thank y'all for hanging out with me. Don't forget about the protein shakes and the protein bars. Don't forget about all of that. Oh, yes, we got to bring Margarine in. And y'all know Calamity Jane met her husband online too. I mean, that's just a new way of dating now. It can be scary. It can definitely be scary. I ain't even gonna lie. It can be scary. And honey, when you find it scary, when you find somebody that you think is a scam, cut them off completely, and cut them off in the beginning. Cut them off in the beginning. All right, y'all. This saved the channel. Okay. Yes, it is. I go live on Wednesdays at 7, and then I cook or interview people on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Blessings to y'all. And thank y'all again for being here. Low Carb Journey, Low Carb Life with your low carb queen. And remember, every day is a new